Why might it have a theoretical chance of triggering a volcanic eruption? The answer to this is that under specific narrow circumstances, if a volcano was already fairly close to erupting, a major nearby earthquake can cause enough motion within an underlying magma chamber that it can initiate an eruption early. While there is no uniform proven rule set involving how strong the ground shaking must be to do this, I have found that M6.5 shaking seems to represent the minimal theoretical limit. Since the Beerenberg volcano that last erupted in 1985 experienced MMI shaking where its magma chamber is presumed to be of between 6 and 7, this could theoretically end up triggering an eruption. There are a few examples of major earthquakes triggering volcanic eruptions, although the time it takes to trigger an eruption can go as long as 9 months in my sample size. This seemingly happened twice before at the Beerenberg volcano, in both 1973 due to a magnitude 5.1 earthquake and in 1985 due to a magnitude 5.0 earthquake. However, I want to note that these two 20th century earthquakes could have theoretically been volcanotectonic caused by already rising magma. However, if we assume this wasn't the case, what percentage of these close magnitude 5 or larger earthquakes have triggered eruptions in historical time at the Beerenberg volcano? Only 7.14% of the time, or 2 out of 28 historical occasions. In other words, in all likelihood the Beerenberg volcano isn't going to erupt, although it theoretically could in the short to mid-term future. But, for fun, let's just hypothetically assume typical eruption Beerenberg does soon erupt. What might happen? Presumably, a swarm of earthquakes followed by an explosive eruption from a vent near the edge of the island. While this could create a tough ring or tough cone in an explosive eruption, what is more likely is that one or more cinder cone vents form and intermittently eject ash, occurring alongside the eruption of basalt lava that creates a lava delta on the coastline. However, I want to stress this once again, the odds of an eruption happening historical eruptions soon are still quite low. Also, I don't know why I have to say this, but geomagnetic storms have absolutely no relation to earthquakes, fault line movements, or volcanoes, and anyone who claims otherwise is talking nonsense. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on